In the 1500s, a personal union and a dual monarchy would be established between the European nations of Denmark and Norway. With this collaboration, the new established empire would soon become a player in maritime dominance and in colonial ventures. Denmark and Norway boasted a powerful navy, allowing them to control strategic waterways and trade routes. Their naval prowess enabled them to expand their influence across the North Sea, Baltic Sea, and beyond. Denmark and Norway established colonies and trading posts in various parts of the world, including Greenland, Iceland, the Danish West Indies, now the United States Virgin Islands, and settlements in West Africa and India. These ventures facilitated lucrative trade networks and resource exploitation. Soon enough, they would become interested in trading and becoming involved in the Mediterranean Sea, causing Danish-Norwegian trade to skyrocket in the Mediterranean in the mid-1700s. Denmark-Norway had obtained a peace agreement with the states of the Barbary Coast, entailing the payment of an annual tribute to each ruler of those kingdoms, as well as to the states, in order to protect their lucrative commerce from piracy. Baba Mohammed ben Osman was appointed Dey of Algiers in 1766. He sought new gifts as well as an increase in the amount of Denmark-Norway paid him annually. And eventually, Norway-Denmark rejected the demands, and soon after, 3 Danish-Norwegian ships were taken over by Algerian pirates, who later sold the crews as slaves. This quickly gained a response from the Danish-Norwegians. Under the command of Frederick Christian Koos, they threatened to bombard the Algerian capital, but surprisingly, the Algerians weren't intimidated, and overall, the plan was a failure, as a huge part of the crew that sailed down to the North African coast fell ill to an outbreak of typhoid. Eventually, ships that were from Denmark-Norway could not withstand constant attacks and piracy from the Algerians, so as a major response, they fired approximately 75 bombs at the city of Algiers before they abandoned the attack. The fight continued mostly in the seas of the North African coast, but it seemed like there was truly no conclusion to the conflict. Ultimately, the one that would crack first was Denmark-Norway. A group of negotiators was dispatched to Algiers in 1772, and after 5 days of talks, a new peace was reached in which Algiers was effectively compensated. Denmark-Norway also had to cover the cost of each slave that had been taken during the conflict. Danish and Norwegian slaves who were brought by private slave traders had to bargain for their release on an individual basis. For such an insignificant war in history, and especially such a forgotten one, this surely is a very interesting conflict in the sense that 2 Scandinavian nations collaborated to become a dual monarchy and then fight a North African nation that basically wasn't even a nation. It was a province of another empire, but basically was ruled like it was an independent nation. And even though that's such a sophisticated way to put things, it's kind of what this war is, simplified. One last thing. It is just a big major announcement. People, please eat your vegetables. Please.
Saludo especial. ¡Nicolás! ¡Me llamo Henry!